just settle into our meditation posture as best you can. If you are sitting at a desk and your feet are down, try not to have your ankles crossed, so keep your feet in a parallel position. Other than that, if you are sitting in the regular cross-legged meditation posture and your knees and your hips are tight, you can relieve some of that by putting cushions underneath each knee. Mary, you made it. Welcome. And hello, Elizabeth. Nice to see you there. So pelvis, we try as much as we can to keep that pelvic bowl upright, so it's not tipping too far back, too far forward, or from side to side. Shoulders over the hips as much as you can. And the hands in the meditation mudra. So that's the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. So let's just imagine our spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. You can imagine someone is above you, behind you, very gently lengthening your spine. So we're just trying to land here from our day. You want to put some space in between those vertebrae. The head is slightly tipped forward, eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. And bring the mind, your attention to the crown of the head, and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks. Relax the area around your mouth, back of the head. Relax the scalp there. And the occipital bone. Just that area there. Try and release some of the tension there. Relax your ears, and the inner ear, your temples, and the jaw again. So just bring your awareness to the neck, the back of the neck. And just release some tension in your shoulders there. And just allow your shoulder blades to drop down. Your angel's wings, just allow them to drop. And relax that upper thoracic area. And relax your throat, chest, belly, and your limbs, hands, fingers, feet and toes. And just bring the mind to the breath. Notice the sensation of the air as you're breathing in, slightly warmer as you're breathing out. If there are any sounds in your environment, and I know, Shayla, you've got quite a bit of distraction there this evening. So, like I said, just do the best you can. Try to not follow those sounds. Everybody except Shayla, who has a toddler running around her house. Try not to engage with the sounds that you're hearing. Just allow them to be there without the mind running off to investigate. And next is your thoughts. So just allow them to arise, abide, and fall. And just notice. Just feel. Trying not to engage with your thoughts. Just allow them to run, because you'll notice that they will run out of steam if you don't engage with them. For the purposes of this meditation and just settling into our meditation, we just want to focus the mind on the breath and not be distracted by our thoughts. So bringing the mind back to the breath. And bring all the people of your life to your mind. So this will be your loved ones, these people that you love and you care for, you feel sad for them when they're unhappy, they support you, they take care of you, you take care of them, you trust them, they hold your secrets. And then there's those ones in your life who you don't like terribly much and they irritate you, maybe you irritate them. And then there's our strangers, these people we're completely indifferent to. It's good to bear in mind that at any point in your life, and it's probably happened, it's happened to me, it's probably happened to all of us here, the friend, the enemy and the stranger could change places. Those categories of people. So it's really good, first of all, to not take for granted those relationships that are so precious to us. And then also not to just assume that that person we don't like, it's going to be that way forever. And the same with the stranger. Tomorrow, a complete stranger could become your dearest friend. It's really good also to remember each of these, the people in these groups, these different groups, deserve our equal concern, not just our loved ones, because everybody wants to be happy, nobody wants to suffer, just like us, and just like us. Everybody has this unbelievable potential for the enlightened mind. Welcome, Stephanie. So I think we're going to do this meditation tonight for all these people in our life, and by extension all sentient beings. And if there's anybody else you would like to include with you to do this meditation with you, perhaps they can't be here tonight, or maybe they wouldn't even think of coming to do something like this, perhaps you could just think of them, maybe put them next to you. And perhaps reach out in your mind to someone in Ukraine or Russia. There's so much suffering right now. Perhaps there's someone who has COVID who could do with some comfort. So we can think like this and just dedicate the merit and the benefit of our doing this practice to all these beings. So just to remember, there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so now we're going to counteract that and create positivity with our mind. And we do this by applying the 4 opponent powers to this Vajrasattva practice. So the first is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being today or in this life, perhaps past lives. You could think of specific actions of your body and your speech. So the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, given that everything that we experience is because of our past actions. So having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear this thought of suffering because we've already experienced quite a bit, most likely, and probably the idea of it of inviting any more into our life perhaps isn't brings us such great happiness after all. Maybe we would decide that we might want to do something about not encouraging any more suffering into our lives. So the logic therefore is to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering. So think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I am sick of suffering. And also regret all the anger and attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think, again, I am sick of this suffering. So, okay, what can we do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. So it's more like we're healing ourselves. So you can imagine Vajrasattva is your doctor. And we're not asking him for forgiveness. We're wanting to use his methods. So you can imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can imagine this is your teacher, your guru, your lama, your trusted mentor if you have a teacher. If you don't, you can perhaps imagine someone like His Holiness the Dalai Lama or just Vajrasattva. It makes it more personal. So this Buddha Vajrasattva is made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential, born out of our delusions, but untainted by them. So he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. He has no judgmental thoughts towards you, no critical thoughts, accepts you exactly as you are, meets you where you're at today. He has a sweet red mouth, his hair is black and held up in a top knot, and he's wearing the 5-pointed crown on his head, embedded with beautiful jewels. He's wearing necklaces embedded with jewelry, precious stones. He's wearing a belt of jewelry. He's wearing armlets and bracelets and anklets. Has a beautiful aura of light around his head and one around his body, radiating light. He's wearing also the celestial silken robes in the Royal Indian style. So you can imagine maybe harem pants, and then also these beautiful scarves just floating in the wind, and shawls. So if you try and imagine as much detail as you can, but if you can't, you can just imagine white light. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents a union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, something is always good to try and think about developing, we need to rely upon other beings, so the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So bring to mind someone you have harmed, and think about in your mind just trying to generate this heart of compassion for them, and then think of someone who's harmed you, and although a little bit more difficult, try and think of generating a compassionate heart towards them, because the harm that they've done to you, the suffering that they've caused you, will bring suffering to them at a future time. So let's move to the power of the remedy, which is the recitation of the mantra and visualization. So first of all, we think about purifying the body. So imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar coming quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps coming and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, which pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajra Mame Mutta Vajra Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is a purification of the speech, and again Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, again filling your body completely, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And it overflows quite powerfully and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their back and getting other people to agree with you, all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So the next is a purification of the mind, and imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful beams of light, this time from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a room and you switch on a light. That light instantly dispels the darkness in the room. So the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind disappears completely. Not one atom left. So you can imagine all your anger and depression and anxiety and attachments and addictions and grasping and neediness and jealousy and bitterness, disappointments, all of this instantly dispelled with this light as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, gone. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So the next is a purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. So you can do a couple of mantras each for the visualizations of the body, of the speech and of the mind, or you can just imagine light and nectar pouring into you, filling you completely, just whatever works for you best. And this light and nectar eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sabasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Now feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is a power of resolve. And again, for people who've been doing this for a long time now, really try and recall your own progress and just really rejoice in the efforts that you've been putting in. Learning the mantra, applying the different opponent powers, and then working on these individual things of your body, your speech, and also your own mind. So just choose something that you have a habit to do that's harmful to yourself and others. And you can start with something small and for a short period of time. So maybe for those people who've been doing it for a long time, maybe something new, or extend the amount of time you're refraining from doing something. So this aspiration to not harm is a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in a different direction. It helps us to break our habits. So this determination to not do something again that's harmful is what gives us the strength to change. So to conclude, Vajrasattva is delighted with us, and wanting to merge with your mind melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. And next, Lama Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. Perhaps you can think of things as being dependent arisings. And maybe also think that perhaps the way things appear to me, the way I see things, the way I think about things may not be necessarily the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this purification to all the people of our life and to all the beings that we had imagined at the beginning of the meditation. And think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled, And for Lama Rinpoche, you uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honouring the three jewels, safely for myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Sherab, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Thank you, everyone.